What's going on, guys? So if you've been following the channel, you know that I recently traded my Z125. It's actually been a couple weeks now, and since I've actually filmed the rest of this video, it's actually been a couple weeks. But I just wanted to make this intro real quick and show you guys the new Grom. And pretty much this whole video is just going to be putting parts on. It's not going to be super detailed, but maybe help give you guys an idea what to do with yours and maybe how to do it. So yeah, so let's check it out. So I want to show you guys how to turn this Grom, completely bone stock, into something like this. Super clean 2014 OG. Go through the parts real quick. We got the Perfect Stranger risers with the extensions. We got some Pro Taper YZ highs. These were supposed to be KLX 110 bars, but they sent me the wrong ones. All good. We got the TST running lights with the running light mate, so these actually do work as running lights and not just blinkers. We got the carbon fibre from Amazon on the sides right here, just to kind of get rid of the gray crap. We got the TST sliders all the way around, shock socks. Now there's a couple things in this video I don't show and did not do in the video, which I did the fork mod in 10 weight. I'll put a link to a video down in the bottom. If you check out the video and their description, it shows you all the stuff you need. Basically just a couple rubber washers, an M8, a couple of M8 washers, longer M8 bolts, and then it'll give you a 1-inch rise on the front, which actually helps dramatically help me pull this thing up in second. Close to third. We did a 14 tooth in the front, so one down in the front. We're still stock in the rear. I do have a 37, which is 2 up in the rear coming, so we will be doing that. Everyone says that's the perfect gear. Hopefully I'll be able to get third gear up. I've been struggling. We got the Crash Industries sub cage with the titanium. Been putting a little work towards it. We got the old Amazon light right here, so this is integrated turn signals as well. Let's see what else we got. We got the eBay exhaust. This did come all black, but as you can see, it kind of chameleoned out on me as it heated up. Of course, the other carbon fibre bits. Then we have a Takagawa Grom Beardo pump, so it's got the little copper tube that goes into the back here to pick up oil from the back. We got 360% springs on this. And yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, we also have the Perfect Stranger, what's it called? The chain tensioners. Still waiting on those. They should be here pretty soon. And then I think what I want to do is some monkey rear sets. So it'll get rid of all this right here. And hopefully it's going to look a lot better. It's all black. It's a little smaller and sleeker. So I think it's going to look good with this. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, of course, we got the RSC lever. I think this is the 2-finger trigger. Love this thing. Feels really good. And then we just got the old Amazon lever up here, all black. This thing is so damn clean. But yeah, I just wanted to make this intro real quick. Oh yeah, we also got the these little things from TST just to clean it up a little bit. But yeah, just wanted to make this intro for you guys so you know what's going on and you don't just jump into it. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoy it. We're going to be shredding the hell out of this thing, leveling up for sure. All right, let's get right into it. So I'm not going to go too into detail with this. Just going to kind of show you the process and what I'm going to be doing. So first thing I did is take the seat off. Easy enough. Turn your key, pop your seat up. And then what we're going to do is take this whale tail off first, and we're going to get rid of this tail light. Kind of work from the back forward. So we're going to put in the new tail light, put on the 12 bar as well. So like I said, take the seat off, and we wanted to get to these 4 bolts right here. You can see these 2 in the back right here. And then we want to loosen up these wires for the tail light and the blinkers, all that stuff right there. So you got this little clip back here. Now you have to pull up here, and then it'll split open, pull the wires out, follow them down, and then we're going to unplug them from here. So let me get all this stuff off, and start putting the new stuff on. That escalated quickly, so basically I needed to get to the end of the frame here so I could throw the frame stiffeners in here, and in order to do that I had to get this out of the way. You can see it's hanging now. To get this out of the way, I had to get that out of the way, the rear plastics, and to get the rear plastics out of the way I had to get the front fairings off. So the plastics are off completely now, and I'm going to be shoving the frame stiffeners in here, and then I think from there basically just throw the 12 bar on. In case you're wondering what the frame stiffeners are, it's basically just this all thread right here, nice and thick. They'll sit down into the tube and it'll run all the way to the back here. So I will be beating these in flush and then installing the 12 bar. Hell yeah, guys, 12 bars installed. And then if you look right past the bolt, you can see the frame stiffeners are flush all the way down the tube on both sides. Next thing we're going to work on is getting this new taillight mounted. Obviously it's just 2 bolts, so it's super easy. But what a lot of people run into is the Chinese lights. These are Chinese, this is Japanese, and apparently you're gonna have to swap some wires around. So what I'm gonna be doing is figuring out what I need to swap over. So this is the stock Grom plug, this is the new plug. So this is gonna deal with the tail light and the brake light, and then off of that we got our 2 blinkers. Now if you look at the whale tail, we also have a running light for our license plate light that we need to figure out. So what I'm going to be doing is just pinning those 2 with a couple wires and then running it to a 2-pin connector and then running my TST license plate light into this. So that way it kind of cleans it all up and I can unplug and plug in the TST without hard pinning it into this 4-pin. So I'll show you what I mean here in a little bit, but I'm going to figure out which wires go where, and then I'll kind of guide you. And that way if you guys see this, want to do this to your Grom, you can copy me and hopefully it'll work for you. Alright guys, we got the tail light mounted. I was fortunate enough that this just plugged right in. Tail light works, brake light works, and both blinkers work correctly, so I got lucky. I see a lot of people plug these things in and they just don't work and they have to swap wires around, so I got super lucky on that. Now it's hard to see right here, but I have my TST license plate light, and on the end of it, it has 2 wires. Now these come bare. I did crimp these pins on. Normally it comes with these little wire nuts. You would tap into your 2 wires for your license plate light. Now as you can see from the light we got from Amazon, it only has the 2 blinkers, and then the 2 for the license plate light are left open. So what I'm going to do, instead of using these little jumpers, get rid of those, wire nuts, whatever you want to call them, I made a jumper. So I'm going to put these 2 into here. I need to figure out which is ground and which is positive. Now normally from import bikes like this, they use green as a ground, so I'm going to guess my green is my ground and my yellow is my positive. So same thing, black will go to green and then red to yellow, and then I'm going to wait to pin these in here. I'm going to verify that it is correct before I pin these, and then yeah, basically it'll be plug this in, and then this will just be hanging off of that. So that way I can disconnect everything if I need to in the future. So let me go ahead and do this, then I'll turn it on and show you how it works. Alright guys, so we got it figured out. Let's take a step back. So this yellow wire is off of the stator power. So stator power will not work with DC current. So this is AC current, this is DC current, and we need to tap into some DC current. So basically that means if the light's on and the motor's not running, we're running DC. And if the motor has to run for the lights to turn on, it's AC, or alternating current, direct current, if you guys didn't know. So what I ended up doing is I ended up having to use one of the wire nuts. We still got this going, so this is going into the ground still, which was that green wire I pointed out earlier. So instead of using the yellow, we are tapping off of the brake light or the running light. So the blue wire right here tapped into positive, and then our ground wire tapped into green on this 4-pin. And as you can see, we are running. We got tail light. See if I can hit the blinker for you. We got blinkers. Got blinkers up front. Looking good. All right, guys, so let me get this all ran up and looking clean, and then I think we will move on to the front. All right, we're all tidied up, got everything ran nice, and next thing up, we have these TST license plate mounts. Just some little pretty pieces, but basically we're going to take the license plate off. We're going to stick the license plate light to the back of it, and then mount it up on these two holes right here. Easy enough. And then we'll move up to the front. Oh yeah, guys, license plates mounted. Love the little black anodized right there. Tail lights looking good. Everything is working properly. Back end is looking mean. All right, guys, now before we get to the flush mount lights from TST with the running light mate, we are going to swap this little plastic piece out for my little fake carbon fiber. So just a screw right there, I believe, and that should pop right out. Put the new one in, and then we'll go ahead and get this front end taken out. Nothing special, just wanted to get rid of some of the gray stuff. And then you can see here I got the cap for the other side, and then these two for the side pieces right here, which I think will look great with the flush mount. All right, guys, so now that that is on, move to the front, and basically just going to remove the two top bolts. Actually, I'll probably throw these sides on real quick just to get it done, but basically you just need to remove the two top bolts and then hang the whole headlight assembly forward. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Then we'll get those TST flush mounts on with the running light mate. And then of course we have the LED blinker relay. So I got to figure out where the relay is on this thing. I think it's on the other side over there, and swap that out. All right, guys, so these front blinkers were a little bit tricky, so I did end up having to take both bolts out, and then from there I unplugged it right there, just like so. And then you got to be careful with these tabs. You'll kind of pull it out like this and out that way towards the back, and then you won't snap the little hooks. Then from there you have to unscrew a screw back here, which will release the blinker from itself, just like so. And then from there we have this metal tab right here. Now if you push that tab in, you'll see the little locking plate wants to come out just like that. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. And then the little locking plate will slide out into place, and then of course this will come with it. Now I'm going to leave all of this together. See, the light will come out and the wire will come with it. Take that boot off, and then you can install your flush mount. So since I'm going to be replacing these completely, I'm just going to leave all this stuff together and then just take them all off, put my new running lights, or my new blinkers, flush mount blinkers on the new panels. So we have our new side panel, other ones over there, and our flush mounts. We got some nuts, plastic nuts to tighten these onto the plate, and then we have our TST running light mate. Now normally these are 2-wire, so they're only blinker on, blinker off, and there's no running light. So with the TST running mate, it's going to convert the 3-wire that comes stock. Normally they already have running lights. And what it's going to do is convert these 2 wires into a 3-wire. Everything's color coded, so it'll be blue to blue, red to red, brown to brown, and then these will plug into the stock harness. And then of course these two will plug right into that. So what I'm going to be doing is just going ahead and throwing these on here, plug everything up, and then I can slide all the wiring through and then remount these. So simple process. Let me throw this all together, I'll show you, and then we'll put them together. And the fitment is not that great on these Amazon side panels, but whatever. It's going to look much better than it did stock. So again, we have our plastic washer, our plastic nut, then coming down to our 2-wire into the TST running mate, goes into the 3-wire, into the stock plug. And we just got to run all this back through the side right here, plug it all in, bolt it up, and we're good to go. So we'll just copy and paste this on the other side. Got the side panels all mounted. We got the LED flush blinkers mounted as well. We got the wiring all tucked up. Now before we put this up and close it, we need to add our LED flasher. Now don't quote me on this, but I believe either way these won't blink without the LED flasher, especially when you hook up the taillight. It kind of messes with things. I'm not 100% sure if it'll burn these up. I'm not sure if these are on DC or AC. I think they're on DC, but either way, I've burnt out plenty of LEDs running them on AC. So just to be safe, we're going to install this before we turn this on and check it out. So yeah, like I said, don't close this up yet. We need to replace this flasher relay right here, and basically just gonna pull up on it. It might be easier to pull this out first, and then from there we can pop this out, replace it with the new one. Flasher relay is replaced. Of course, I took the rubber grommet, rubber bushing, whatever you want to call it, off and put it on the new relay. Now it's easier to just pull this off, unplug it, and then while this is in your hand, it's much easier to get off. Got these little tabs right here holding it on, so you kind of got to go over and out. But yeah, we are officially plugged in. So let's turn the bike on. We have our running lights. Make sure we're good over here. Now I'm hoping this relay doesn't mess with the relay in these. I don't know if there's a built-in relay. Let's find out. Got blinker. Yeah, it kind of messes with the follow a little bit, but it's not bad at all. We got blinker. Make sure we got the right side. Hell yeah, we are good to go. Awesome. So now that we have this done, I believe, what do we have left? We have to put the exhaust on. We got a little cap that'll go back on with the plastics. And then from there, I think we're going to tip the bike on its side, and we need to put in the oil pump from Grom Beardo, the Takagawa. And then of course I want to put the 360% springs in, and then we'll do the sprocket last. Well, we got to put the exhaust on as well, and the sprocket. And I think that's about it. The forks probably do on my own time. I got to get some tools like the fork tube holder and all that stuff, so not going to be doing that quite just yet. But yeah, so let's get all this buttoned up and crack this clutch cover open. Before we start putting all the plastics and stuff back on and getting into the clutch cover, I want to put my bar risers on. So there they are right over there. We're going to go ahead, unscrew these. We're probably going to have to take this top cap off, so we'll probably have to take the top cap nut off, pull this off to get to, maybe not. Basically, we got to get to these right here, and then the new ones will bolt up from underneath. Instead of a nut down here, it'll be a bolt going straight up. So let's go ahead and remove the bars, get these stock risers out of here, and then we'll throw the new risers on. Easy enough. Got the bar risers on, bolts went up from underneath. We got the washer right behind the bolt too as well, so that doesn't go through. And then on these ones, I did take out the bushings as well. I don't know if you're supposed to, but it looks like with these Perfect Stranger bar risers, they just mount solid to the top triple. So I think we're good to go. Nice, much taller, and makes up for not getting the KLX 110 bars. I'll probably still end up swapping them just to make them a little bit taller, but I think this is going to be enough rise to make me happy for now. Cool deal. Now it's time to put the plastics back together. Don't need them off for anything anymore. Alright guys, getting a little late, so sorry if the lighting got a little poor here. But basically we got everything finished as far as the outer side, the outer appearance. We got the little plates put on. We got the 12 bar on. We got the bar risers. We got the flush mount lights on, the exhaust. I didn't show the exhaust, very self-explanatory. You know, you hang it right here, 2 bolts right here, a couple springs, easy enough. So now we're gonna go ahead and get to the clutch springs and the pump, the oil pump. So what I'm doing is loosening all these bolts. There is one back here. Oh, you can kind of see it by the tip of my finger right here. See it wiggling around down there. and all the way around. I was able to get that one loose with this, so I'm hoping not to take off the rear set. We will see. I do got to loosen up the clutch cable, get that out of here. What I normally do is loosen this side right here, and then I will loosen this nut all the way back out, and then I try to leave this nut here in place. That way I know where it went, and when I tighten this back in, that way the clutch cable doesn't move around and it stays put where I had it. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull this clutch cover off. Just make sure you remember you got these little brackets here that need to go back on, as well as the clutch cable bracket. Cool, I'm gonna go ahead and get this loose, pop this clutch cover off, and we'll get our springs and oil pumping. Fortunately, I was able to get the clutch cover off without removing the rear set. Nice, because I was not looking forward to popping these bolts. Basically, no bolts on these have been touched, so they are hard to break off. But yeah, so we have our clutch springs behind the plate right here, and then we have our oil pump right here. I believe these are all 10mm bolts. And then we have our Takagawa pump from Grom. Now this is going to reroute where the oil sucks in. So now it is going to reroute back in this hole. So when you're in a wheelie, all the oil is going to rush to the back. This is going to pick it up from the back now. That way we should never have any kind of issues. And then the Takagawa being a high flow pump, we should see some pretty good oil pressure in this thing. All right, so yeah, just going to remove this, replace it with this, take these out, put the springs in. So it'll be normal spring, 60% normal spring. So we're just going to stagger them around like that and get this done. Well, that's pretty much a done deal. So we got our Grom Takagawa pump installed, and as you can see, it just runs to the back here and then picks up oil from the back. That way when you're in a wheelie, you're never running out of oil pressure. Already installed my 3 springs. I installed them underneath the bolts. Now I hear that these can snap, these little lifter plates, whatever you want to call them, push plates. Everyone says that they'll snap with 60%, so we're going to find out. So I just put my 60% springs under here. That way they have a little bit more, they're a little bit more rigid with the bolt pushing down on them instead of being open like these guys. So we're going to try that out. And then, of course, while you're in here, always check your screen. Make sure there's no gunk, no, metal shavings, anything like that. So check your oil screen. Other than that, I'm going to throw the cover back on, and I think we're good to go.